Hey, what's up? It's Freddie Stevenson from Trials of Triumph, and we got another dope guest for you today. Florida Gators basketball star Walter Clayton Jr. in the studio with us today. We would like to thank Craig Burt Real Estate Group for sponsoring this episode of Trials of Triumph. Whether you're a first-time home buyer searching for your dream home, a seller aiming to maximize your home's equity, or an investor seeking a prime opportunity, partnering with a dedicated real estate professional can make all the difference. Your real estate goals are their top priority. The Craig Burt Real Estate Group is committed to providing unmatched customer service, and they are genuinely driven to help you achieve your property goals. As your go-to resource for all your real estate needs, they offer a proven marketing plan for sellers, ensuring that your property is widely promoted across major real estate platforms and paired with exceptional negotiation skills. For buyers, they diligently analyze the local markets and trends to help you find the perfect home at the right price. If you're looking for a positive and helpful partner ready to provide exceptional service, make sure to reach out to the Craig Burt Real Estate Group right now. I promise you, they will not disappoint. What's up, man?
Not much. Chilling, man. How you doing?
Man, I'm good. Appreciate you pulling up on it.
Sure, for sure. Glad to be here.
Man, listen, I've been wanting to ask this for a minute because I'm looking at my phone. I know you're a hooper and everything, but I'm looking at my phone and at some point you was doing it on the football field. I see offers from Florida State, Georgia, Notre Dame. Come on, like Florida. What made you choose basketball?
Oh, I had a couple of them. It was I don't know. The basketball really just my first love. That's one of the main things. I ain't really enjoy practice as much for football. You know what I'm saying? Go out there, be a little hot. I ain't gonna lie. So
couldn't deal with that sun.
Yeah, I was only happy in football when it came to them Friday nights. So that was really one of the main things. Just more of a love for the game.
So you kind of answered my question, but I want to ask it anyways. So for you, since you played both, which sport would you feel like was harder out of basketball and football, to find success?
Harder?
Yeah, harder.
I'll for sure say basketball.
Why you say that?
It's just more time need to be put in. I say that. I know football, you need to perfect your footwork and, especially if you had DB kind of stuff I was playing. But I think that basketball, most skills needed, dribbling the basketball ain't as hard as going up and catching the football, at least to me. So
yeah, I can see that for sure because you see so many guys in football, they'll start later on in their careers, and even if they don't got all the intangibles and things like that, they'll come in and and work with them and they'll be successful just because they have certain measurements. Yeah. So I can see that for sure, especially basketball and baseball. But man, you went to Bartow High School. You started off at Lake Wells. Kind of walk me through that process because Bartow and Lake Wells, they rivals, they huge rivals. Yeah. So walk me through and let me know how you ended up going to Bartow.
Yeah, it's kind of a crazy story, to be honest. You could ask anybody. I ain't want to go to Bartow at first. So I was leaving Lake Wells, kind of already had my mind made up on that, was going to give up on the football thing. And I was trying to go to IMG, but when I went to IMG, they wanted me to play football and basketball. I was just trying to play basketball. So then kind of changed my mind with that, was going to go stay with one of my family members in Orlando and go to Oak Ridge. Man, night before we supposed to go up to the school, whatever, mama come in my room, she kind of tearing up a little bit, talking about she didn't want me to leave home that early, stuff like that. So she was like, why can't you just go to Bartow? I was like, I kind of sat there. She was crying, I was like, all right, I'll go to Bartow. Ended up going up there the next day, was in the Bartow office, everybody seen it, whatever, went into class and it was good first couple weeks and it just took off from there.
Did you get a lot of issues from people from Lake Wells when you went to Bartow at first, or was it kind of smooth for you?
I ain't gonna say I got a lot of issues, but you had to few out the bunch, talking junk, whatever. Yeah. You ain't really from Lake Wells, stuff like that. But I wasn't stressing it. I feel like everybody kind of knew, without Coach Billy D being there or Coach Hayes being there at school no more. It wasn't the same vibe at Lake Wells when it came to basketball.
Did it kind of take a minute for you to kind of build, get used to that culture in Bartow because you used to Lake Wells and, everything is kind of ran differently in Bartow and you're not a Bartow guy. Now, I grew up in Lakeland. So I'm coming in and they talking about these rivalries and stuff. I'm like, man, I ain't never heard of this team.
Nah, it ain't take me long at all, man. We work at Bartow. That's all I know. So we come in first day to the last day we was working. So I was good with that.
Heck yeah. Y'all had a lot of success at your time. Your first shit, y'all won back-to-back titles. walk me through the first year when y'all won the title, kind of the mindset that year, and then ultimately coming back with all the pressure on you the following year, those expectations, how difficult it was to do it all over again.
Yeah, so at least if you ask the players, we'll say it wasn't difficult. You ask Coach McGriff, he'll say it was real hard the second year. But the first year, man, we had just a bunch of leaders on the team. You had all the seniors. I think we had 6 or 7 seniors, and them guys just really led us, in the locker room, on the floor, off the floor, just leading by example. So kind of leaned on them guys, got us through the whole year. We went 31-1, lost to Santa Fe the third game.
Okay.
And kind of after that,
year Santa Fe was tough. Yeah.
We would have played them at the end of the year, we would have whooped them, but we're going to leave that alone. But nah, we lost that game, and after that game, you could just if you came into practice, it was just different. Everybody going hard, wasn't no joking or none of that. Everybody was kind of just a team on a mission. So I went undefeated for the rest of the year, ended up being Dillon and State. And really the seniors led that team, Coach McGriff. He, obviously he do what he do. He was coaching, but I think just the seniors being on that team made his job easier. And then you come back the next year, you got us. We young, you know what I'm saying? We feel like we're the best in the state again, big-headed. Coach McGriff, I think he'll say that year was a little harder, practice. We were still working, we were still going hard, but, you had them you had them words, people saying, oh, yeah, we finna go back to back. This finna be easy. Yeah. We finna do this, do that. But you got to do it at the end of the day. So I know Coach McGriff did a good job of just keeping us level-headed and just things like that.
Coach McGriff done had a lot of success at the high school level, a lot of state championships. What do you think for him makes him stand out as a coach and makes him be able to be so successful?
Honestly, one of the main, just the time he put in, the hours that McGriff put in watching film, studying this, studying that, watching NBA teams, watching EuroLeague teams, and just stuff like that to come up with offense and then defensive principles. He put so much time into it. And then I think what people don't realize, I know people always talking about how we got so many coaches on the bench at Bartow. Coach Austin, Coach Tuck, all these guys, weight room, offense, defense. We just got so many different minds around. I think they help out Coach McGriff a lot too. And Coach McGriff, he obviously know a lot. He been in this game a long time, but he willing to listen. Yeah. So even in my time there, I had my opinions. I'd be like, Coach, I see this. Coach, I see that. He'll look at it, kind of analyze it, whatever. Be like, okay, you right, or okay, you wrong. So I think that's another thing, just kind of his willingness to put the time in and willingness to listen.
Heck yeah, and ultimately you had a highly successful career, and you recruited by a lot of schools.
Yeah.
What factored into your decision? Ultimately you chose Iona. What factored into that decision to go there for you? Of course, you get the opportunity to play under Rick Patino, but what factored in that decision for you? Because you could have went just about any way you wanted.
Nah, basketball I couldn't, but I had a top 3. Really, it was out of James Madison, FAMU, and Iona. Them was kind of really the 3 schools I was looking at. But then it was just, I told myself I wasn't going to make my decision to the end of my senior year, trying to rack up a couple more offers throughout the year. But man, Coach P called, and that factored in the whole decision. Yeah. Rick Patino, I was like, man, I'm finna go up here, I'm finna play for Coach Patino. So that was really it.
What's it like under him?
Man, it was great. It was a good couple first weeks. Started off great because, being with McGriff and the practices, so getting up there was kind of the same thing, work hard. But then after a couple weeks, he one of them coaches who he find whatever make you mad, find buttons to push, and he gonna do it every chance he get. So freshman year, it'd be some days I let him get to me a little bit. I struggle with this, struggle with that. But then second year, got past all that, man, it was great.
What would you say? Because we all have them, man. I remember coming out of high school, thinking that, going to Florida State, I'm like, man, I'm a dog. I'm going to come in first year, start, all these things. And I get my welcome to college football moment. I'm like, man, this is different. What was your welcome to college moment?
Man, welcome to college moment, I say, man, we had to do it on our team. So he came from SMU named Tyson Jolly. Man, this dude, nice. I'm talking about nice. So he come, we in practice. Probably that whole day was my welcome to college moment. I'm talking about, I ain't gonna lie, I was getting fried. It was kind of crazy, but it was tough shots though. They'll be like, oh, good defense, but then the shot go in, they'd be like, oh, that's just a tough shot. And it was like that the whole practice. So I for sure say that was my welcome to college moment, that whole day of practice.
Dang. So you had success at Iona, and then you ultimately decided to go to Florida. What kind of factors into that decision for you? Were you back and forth between whether or not you should stay?
What, at Iona? Nah, Coach P ended up leaving Iona. So he went over there to St. John's. So it was between St. John's and Florida. Really, I had kind of cut it down quick. Obviously, my mind was kind of made up on going to St. John's with Coach P. You know, same system, familiar with everything that's going on. But I ended up taking a visit to Florida. Really enjoyed it. My family was there. I'm big on family, so I'd say that was like the top thing that factored into my decision was them and going there. So Coach Golden and them feel like we building something good at Florida. So I kind of see myself a part of that vision and the vision they sold to me. So that was the main thing. And then I found out my girl, she was pregnant at the time. So I found out that with our daughter, Leilani, she here now. So that was...
Congratulations.
Yes, sir. Appreciate that. That was, I say that was at the top of the list for sure, hearing that.
We would like to thank Howell, Buchanan, Strong for sponsoring today's episode of Trials of Triumph. They are a healthcare licensing and professional licensed law firm headquartered in the capital city of Tallahassee, with offices located throughout the state, assisting those with healthcare regulation compliance, healthcare transactions, and other healthcare defense. If you're facing legal problems, you're going to need a strategic defense. Howell, Buchanan, Strong is Florida's trusted law firm to help you with your licensing issues. How does that change your perspective knowing now you're a father, like going in, like I said, you initially grinding for just you, but now you got somebody that you're responsible for?
Yeah, nah, facts. It's a different feeling. I say that, man. It's just waking up every day. It ain't about you no more. You got to put somebody before you want this. You got to make sure she had that. I got to make sure she's set up for life. I got to make sure she done ate. She done did this. And I think, especially my girl, shout out to her. She done did like a great job of just allowing me to, you know, kind of focus on basketball. And she doing a great job being a mom and just really helping me be a better father. You know what I'm saying? As I'm learning things. So it's just a different feeling. That's all I can really say.
I got 2 daughters, man. And then I feel like personally, them daughters, because I'm not very patient. They teach me how to be patient. Daughters, they'll do that to you. And I'm very like, my pops was very like hard-nosed. And a lot of things, that's how he raised us, you know, like rough. So with my daughters, I got to learn that, you know, that softer side. You know, I can't, you know, rough. And it kind of bothers me sometimes because my youngest, she got a little what I got. Like she rough, she like to fight all them things. But then my oldest, she very sensitive to the point where people will do stuff to her and she won't defend herself and it bother me. And I have to teach myself like, it's going to take time. And, you know, some people may not just be wired for that, you know, especially, you know, with girls. So I don't know. That's a challenge, but I kind of wanted to get your perspective on that with girls.
Yeah, nah, my little girl, she's 7 months. She's finna be 8, so she's still young to the point. Hopefully, that's my thing too. Cause my girl, she be talking junk sometimes. She talk about she not a boy, she not this. I'm like, man, I don't want her to be soft though. You know what I'm saying?
That's my thing, man. Like,
regardless, so nah, I definitely understand.
I
don't
want her
to
my daughter to be getting in no trouble or anything, but I want her, if something ever happens, to be able to defend herself. My oldest. And it's to the point where I feel like my youngest, she gonna get older and she gonna be the one defending the older one. But my older one, I gotta get her to understand that. And it's crazy because I'll watch her sometimes. And you ever see somebody that's gifted, they strong, but they don't know it until they have to do something? I seen a situation where somebody was just bothering. It was one of her cousins. And then one day she decided to defend herself. Next thing you know, they crying and she, oh snap, like she's like, Daddy, I hit him back, Daddy. But she realized like how strong she is, but that was kind of like a proud moment for her. I don't really like her fighting, but like I got tired of people bullying her. But yeah, man, I think daughters is beautiful, man. Like if I'd had a son, I don't think I would have necessarily, you know, grown as much as I needed to.
Facts.
God, you know, God will give you what you need, you know, during your life to kind of help you grow. And that's ultimately what I needed for that next level of my growth. And you're going to see it. Like,
I see in that other side for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Like, but man, y'all had a solid year. Man, made a little run. At the end of the year, you decided to enter your name in the draft, man. Kind of walk me through that process and, you know, the behind the scenes of it.
So, yeah, that process was early entry, trying to get some feedback from teams or whatever. So, the consensus at the end kind of was I was going to go second round. That was one of the things. So I kind of pulled out trying to get into that first next year. But it was a good process, you know, when it worked out for a few teams, Brooklyn, Charlotte, Milwaukee, and Boston. When it worked out for them teams, got some good feedback, some things I just need to work on for next year. But it was overall, it was good, though. You know, went out there to Vegas in the pre-draft stuff, went to the little G League Combine. And it was just a good experience, you know, got that feedback.
What would you say personally some things that are your strengths at this point in your career and some things that you feel like you need to work on?
Yeah, so strengths, I'd definitely say shooting, really offense. I think just a well-rounded scorer, can pass when I need to, kind of do everything that is needed on the offensive end. And then just some weaknesses, definitely say defense, but I think that's more of a mental thing for me. I could play defense and I know I can. I just need to basically show it more. And just think that's getting in shape. I've been working on getting in just better shape this summer to be able to do things for like the whole 40 minutes of the game. So those are some weaknesses.
As a highly successful basketball player, what are 3 things you would say makes a player stand out? Like 3 things that any successful basketball player needs, and you got to have these 3 in order to be successful.
Work ethic for sure. That's top of the list. Got to be a great communicator. I feel like it'd be so many guys who just, even me at one point in time, it was so many guys now just they don't talk enough. You know what I'm saying? They don't stand out because they don't talk. They do this great, they do that great, but they just ain't talking enough. I'll say that. And then the third thing is just playing hard. I'll say that, man. It's like, I know some guys, and even some of them guys when I went to the NBA teams was talking to them sometimes. They be like, man, these guys, they don't play hard enough. This guy has all the talent in the world. He just don't play hard enough. So I say them 3 things.
How do you manage the balance between being a selfless player, but then understanding like, shoot, I'm the guy that this team is leaning on. I got to be aggressive, because I've seen a lot of players that didn't know how to manage it. Like guys that they're that guy, but they don't know how to be aggressive and lead and carry that team when they need to, to carry them. So how do you manage that?
I ain't gonna say I manage it. You know what I'm saying? I kind of I let the game come to me, and I think the teams I've been on, I'm really blessed. We just got a bunch of guys who just be on the same page. I think the different personalities I had on all the teams I've been on over the years has just been personalities that just done mesh well. So I think just me letting the game come to me, kind of just going with the flow of the game, just everything just come together.
You had an opportunity to win 2 state titles in high school. You're at a program right now with a lot of tradition. What steps do y'all need to take to hoist up that trophy?
Man, last year I think we was great on the offensive end. It's just that defensive end, kind of what I was saying, was one of my weaknesses, and I need to be better this year, and I will be better. Just that defensive end of the ball, man, we tightened up that defense, man. I don't really see nobody stopping us, to be honest.
Okay. And the podcast is Trials of Triumph, so kind of walk me through a moment in your life, college, whatever the case may be, where you had to overcome some adversity, maybe, doubted yourself and you had to find a way to dig out.
Yeah. At the end of my junior year, during COVID, I was
junior year of high school or college?
Junior year of high school.
Okay.
Yeah, so the 2021 class, we kind of known as the COVID babies, the COVID kids or whatever. We didn't get our last year of travel ball to where we go and play in front of all the college coaches on the EYBL circuit and things like that. So that was definitely a rough period for me. I was up there in Orlando with my cousin, Nikhil Roby.
Okay, that's your cousin. That's crazy.
Yeah. He took me in. I was just staying up there with him. Come back home on Thursdays, but I'll be there throughout the week, and we'll just go lift in the morning, do a couple workouts in the afternoon and things like that, just being with him. And then I ain't had no offers. I had one offer, though. I had a Stetson, but that was the only offer I had. And mind you, my plan when I went to Bartow was see how this go for a year. If the basketball thing don't work out, I'm going to go back and play football. I know I got that. So we was going through that. COVID, didn't have no offers, and it was McGriff really the one who, I think that's why we so tight, or one of the reasons we so tight, just he used to be on the phone with me like almost every night. We talking for hours, and it just kind of, it was some nights I broke down, I'm in there crying or whatever, talking about they don't want me or whatever. I ain't got no offers and things like that. So just going on. That went on for about really the whole COVID, but then it got to a point where I kind of broke down. I told McGriff I was kind of thinking about, just going back and playing football and whatever. I think it was maybe 1 or 2 weeks later, and McGriff, he real big on God. We both real big on that. He's just sending me verses, steady sending me verses. I want to say a week or 2 later, I was on a Zoom call with James Madison, and they ended up offering me. So that happened, and then after that, another week, I want to say East Carolina, they come calling, they offer me, and then the offers just start piling in, and they all mid-major, but I was fine with that or whatever. So started getting all them offers, and just really that's. I probably say that was one of the tough moments in my life, just having to overcome that adversity, them doubts.
Without a doubt. Do you ever sit back and, of course you had offers coming out of high school, but then once you in the transfer portal, now you have the opportunity to go to a premier program. How do you look at that, knowing that, man, a lot of teams overlooked me coming out of high school, but now I'm that guy. You know, y'all overlooked me, but now I'm one of the best players in college. Period.
Yeah. I definitely held some grudges. I ain't gonna lie. Some coaching staffs I kind of already said, and I told McGriff at the beginning, I was like, no, they didn't want me in high school. They basically told me, it was some coaches said I really wasn't good enough for the high major division level. They really said I was a low D1 player, things like that. So I definitely kept them thoughts in the back of my head, and just kind of all them coaches that came back and called, I was like, nah. So that's really one of the reasons I gave Golden a chance. He was new to Florida. He didn't really know about me. So I gave him a chance.
Kind of tell me about Coach Golden, personality, style, stylistically, everything.
Yeah. So they personality, man, he just a positive guy. Coach Golden, family man, positive guy. He just different from all my other coaches. He not really with the negative stuff. Everything is always positive. He try to keep you upbeat and things like that. So just family environment. He's created that at Florida. You know, we all family and just real close-knit group. So I definitely say that about Coach. And he an analytical guy. So he big on the analytics.
Okay. I always wondered this. I ain't a hooper, but what's the best feeling in the game, man, when you get to posterize somebody, when you get hot from three and everything falling down, or all game you taking ankles?
Man, you saying out of them three options, or it could be anything?
You got out of them three options.
Out of them three options.
Or anything else you could think of.
I'd probably say for me dunking on somebody, because I don't... I show it sometimes. I get a little bounce when I get mad. Yeah. I got to start getting that a little more. But yeah, I definitely say posterizing somebody.
Heck yeah, man. I can't dunk. So I always would have said that one. But you know, I'm a little vertically challenged.
Yeah.
But you know, I make up for it on 2K or something like that. But yeah, man, I always wanted that for sure. But at this point in your life, man, what's something that you're grateful for?
My family, man. My beautiful daughter, my beautiful girl, Tatiana, my mama, man, my auntie, really just my whole family. You know, I think they really keep me going at this point. You know, they just kept me grounded my whole life. So I definitely say them.
All right, we got a fun question for you. One of our producers, he used to be a mascot in college. So he wanted me to ask the question. Out of Albert the Gator, because you know the game coming up later this month with the football team. Out of Albert the Gator and Sebastian, the Miami mascot, who winning in the fight?
Come on, man. You know who I'm going to say, man. That Gator, man. That's a little easy little chomp, easy little bite.
And why, though? You can't just say, yeah, and what's the reason?
Man, I know our mascot, man. He ain't going for that, man.
Hey, all right.
He ain't going for that, man.
He ain't going?
He ain't going. Like Bob man say, he ain't going.
All right, you got it done, man. All right. So you don't never know who under that. You don't never know who under the thing. That's the thing now, you know. So you don't never know who under that uniform. I got to do a little research. Who got?
Don't worry about that. Just know Albert ain't going, man. He ain't going.
All right, Albert.
He ain't going.
Albert doing it like that?
Yes, sir.
So, all right. Okay. We're going to see, though. We're going to see. We're going to see. But shoot, man, I appreciate you coming in.
Nah, for sure.
I love watching you from afar, man. Some dude that came through the city, a legend, man. I'm rooting for you. I know we all rooting for you.
Yes,
but
sir. Appreciate
man,
that.
Keep that perspective, that drive, everything, man. And your daughter, she watch you. I know you know that every single day. So when you get tired, just think of her, man. But I'm riding with you. We riding with you. We want to see you win for sure.
Nah, yes, sir. Appreciate that. Appreciate you having me.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.